How has your China experience so far? What do you find most interesting about this trip? What stood out to you the most?
The numerous meetings that we've had has been really fruitful, and a number of things that we've been observing so far in China, including the concept of smart city, particularly in Shenzhen. That's been really good, and that's something that we're currently interested in, particularly in view of the government policy to develop its new townships and cities in the country. So that's something that we've really learned a lot from cities like Shenzhen.
I have more than 10 years didn't go back to China. So this time when I come back to China, I find the biggest change is fantastic and amazing. Vanuatu and China have very strong relationship, and I believe Vanuatu can get plenty benefit for China's help and support.
I think the reception that the current Prime Minister and his delegation received was overwhelming. It reflects the level of relationship that Vanuatu has with China. So it is very impressive, I should say. And I think people of Vanuatu will appreciate the fact that they have someone very respectable in their government visiting China and having to receive such an honor from the government and people of China.
I think that affectionate feeling is being reciprocated by people here in China as well. And Minister Napo, you have served your country in different roles before your appointment as Minister for Internal Affairs. How would you describe the China-Vanuatu relations?
It's at a very respectful level, and the relations between Vanuatu and China is very mutual. It's based on respect, it's based on equality, it's based on non-interference in each other's affairs, and I think this is a profound principle that is so important. We are able to sit together in spite of the size of the economy, the size of the population, and other factors that distinguishes China as a country as opposed to developing island states of the Pacific. I think we're able to sit together, be able to for China to be able to accord time, and in particular, the premier of China, the president of China, being able to accord time for a bilateral discussion is so unique.
Vanuatu is also looking to boost its own digital economy. So Minister Chomako, you have visited Huawei's headquarters in Shenzhen a little earlier. Can you tell us what were your first reactions, first thoughts after seeing and hearing about the possibilities available there through these technologies? What kind of a role do you think tech companies such as Huawei have played in promoting the Belt and Road cooperation?
For me personally, you can't just separate the infrastructure component. It's also including the digital aspect that we visited from Shenzhen. It was for us an eye-opener to see that how we can use technology to better manage the new city, as they say, the smart city, better coordinate, respond and rescue, addressing the issue, the time-saving issue that we are, as they say, the time is money. We can learn from what we see here to also adapting ourselves in building the similar concept with us. And yes, definitely Huawei as a big company has an important role to play in providing a smarter approach, as they say, smart city, and as I mentioned, to provide an efficient and I would say secure service delivery to the people who are living in new city that we want to build in the future.
Beijing supports Pacific Island countries to implement the 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific continent. So Minister Napo, what kind of achievements have been made so far between Vanuatu and China on climate cooperation?
Look, China's overseas development assistance to Vanuatu and other countries in the Pacific, it's not only confined to infrastructure. It's also extended to other areas, particularly in climate change. Look, we have over. We used to have a lot of new Vanuatu that come to China to study different areas and have qualifications in different areas. But one of the areas that we've increasingly seen our young people come to study in China is in the area of climate change. And I think this is one of the assistance that China.
Mr. Liu, over to you. What are your expectations on future bilateral collaboration in the spirit of building connections between the people from the two countries? What should be the priority actions to take to facilitate increased communication and better understanding between China and Vanuatu?
Yes, as I've mentioned, relationship shouldn't be about just infrastructures, but the people-to-people relationship is very important because it promotes it promotes the level of understanding where people should appreciate each other's culture. So I hope that the two countries can exchange maybe some events in terms of cultural exchange. Maybe they can organize events where culture groups travel from one country to the other in the hope of promoting culture. We're having to deal with a lot of sentiments, especially with technology. We were discussing quite earlier about that, the level of information flow. We in the media, we need to be able to deal with misinformation, to be able to deal with disinformation in order to promote this mutual understanding between people of Vanuatu and people of China.
After concluding this trip in China, when you return home to Vanuatu, what would be your first priority in terms of implementing the agreements that were agreed to and signed in China?
Well, my idea is we must open the direct flight China and Vanuatu. Because this is very important. We must open this gate, make more investors come for China or come to Asian country, come to Vanuatu. Because in China, how can develop quickly? Because before have one policy, you want to become developer, you first building your road. Because our is island country, so where is our road? Is airline. So we must open this one to more people interested to Vanuatu, go inside. After we can develop quickly. So this is my priority. I will push this one to help both sides to sign the agreement fast.
And finally, Minister Koa Napo, where would you like to start first in terms of consolidating the consensus being reached here?
I think this is one of my priorities as a former diplomat in Vanuatu and as a politician. I want to see the relationship of Vanuatu grow with other countries as well, using the template that China is using, with mutual respect, that you and I could be able to sit down and on the table and as equals and be able to discuss issues of mutual interest. And I think this is one of the important fundamental priorities I want to continue to pursue, besides the government policy and technical cooperation matters that is happening between Vanuatu and China. And I want to wish President Xi Jinping and the people of the People's Republic of China a success. They're currently modernizing, but they're able to share what they have with their friends. And China and Vanuatu are friends, and good friends indeed. Thank you very much.
Minister, I like the way you put it. A family of nations helping each other. This is the way you look at the relations, the friendship between China and Vanuatu.